Like on the individual level, I believe we have a lot of journalist retraining to do in the next few years, maybe really redefining the role of a journalist and yeah, giving very clear guidelines to what is expected from a journalist in 2025, 2030, and so on. And on the business level, for me, it's yeah, really a question of whether we'd be able to create a good business model for media. So on that note, I have an idea I want to pitch to you, and
Okay.
feel free to critique it and yeah, let me know what you think. But what if we create digital twins of journalists and turn them into some sort of personal AI assistants of for whatever people need to know on a given topic? So one thing I'm seeing is that people seem to very much enjoy chatting. So from the traditional messengers like WhatsApp has over 2 billion active users. Facebook is close to a billion. ChatGPT got to 100 million in 2 months. And uh, the cool thing about the last one is that it gives you personalized answers to your questions on pretty much any topic. Yet, most publishers around the world today are still trying to make people spend 10 minutes reading an article or even watching a video. And those are very often still missing the information that actually matters to the audience. So, do you see a future where journalists have their own chatbot versions of themselves that people can use to get personalized answers to the questions they care about? Subscribe to Zornitsa Stoilova's knowledge and analytical skills. Have her answer all of your tech news questions for I don't know, 20 euro a month or maybe more.
This will be provided by my digital twin. And in the meantime, what would I do? Whatever I want.
You are going to enrich your knowledge and analytical skills. You are going to talk to people, understand their problems, devise new strategies for reaching people.
Okay, interesting. I think this is a very interesting, maybe new emerging business model that can be come out of the media to explore with their own chatbots that, for example, can crawl their archives and answer people's very specific questions. Because every media, especially the legacy ones, sit on a very big knowledge that they can not really make use of until now. I mean, you have a search button in every website, and people can search for information there, but not, for example, ask you, okay, what were the biggest deals in tech in the last 10 years, for example, and have a very concise and informative answer. But I want to challenge this concept a bit by because this is a very this hyper personalization come from a different world, right? Not from the world of journalism and media, and not a concept that I've been familiar with. From it comes from the world of products, usability, user experience, and like journalists are used to think about their work in a very different way. Like we are supposed to write about the big stuff that helps us live together as a society. And so if I have to do my job well, I will have to provide you with, as media, we provide a forum, public forum for expression of all kinds of ideas, right? And that will make it possible for you as a user to observe what other people are doing, you to observe the diversity of opinions that is out there in the world, without you requiring to join in somehow or to approve or even to I don't know, but just to give you this whole spectrum of ideas out there or information out there on what people think about a certain topic. And what happens if you only want to know about what you care about, like in a very narrow dimension? For example, today I want to know about, I don't know, tech startups. But the role of a journalist is to open up your world a little bit and to make you see that there's a whole lot of interesting ideas or questions out there, and this won't be done by a personalized chatbot, I believe.
Well, I think it's a question of design. So, for example, you could ask the chatbot, I don't know, give me the latest news from health tech startups in Southeast Europe. And the chatbot could answer your question, with whatever prompt you gave it, but then it can also ask uh, ask a question itself, like, have you considered uh, uh, why it's not such a good idea to invest in health tech startups?
You think that the AI can do this to challenge your preconceptions on, or even your ideas on what you want to learn?
Well, technologically, it's very much possible. From there, I think it's a question of how you design the system and whether the user would uh, decide that uh, they want to challenge people or they just want to inform people.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, I completely agree with you that uh, if we can have this option to challenge users, that would be actually quite great. So
It will make you differentiate probably in the whole world of people trying to inform you around the internet.
yeah, actually a very good opportunity for journalists to differentiate and stand out from everyone, because with generative AI, the other development I expect to see happening is that everyone can become a creator, content creator. So every subject matter expert on anything who previously couldn't write or produce content, now they can pretty much easily do it. So even more competition for journalists.
Yep, that's true.
So yeah,
But then also I would like to ask you, what is the difference according to you, if there's such, between content creators and journalists?
journalists have this bigger, more ethical obligation to society to try to you know paint a complete picture of what's happening in a given context, to try to explain uh, why something is happening, what are the factors behind it. uh, you really connect the dots between uh, seemingly disparate data points. While content creators, like, I would say this is a broader term. Like, journalists are a type of content creator with their very specific function. But then, as a content creator, you can create content to sell your products, to connect with audiences, or I mean, in a way, even though even these people who are uh, spreading misinformation, they're also content creators.
Of course, absolutely. And thank you for pointing this out, because I think, I don't know, for me, it would make more sense maybe for us media as tellers to inform people more about what is our purpose, what is our value as content creators within this universe of content creators. And because I think it's starting to become more blurry now, and I don't know, I see a problem in that.
Yeah,
Exactly, because other content creators don't have these ethical standards that they have to abide by, and also they have a different purpose. Like, we serve society by definition, and they can serve their own brand, for example, or they can serve a brand, or they can serve, I don't know, even if they're some kind of a researcher, they can serve their own research purposes, let's say. But we are journalists, as journalists, are the ones who have to look at the big picture, as you said, and say, okay, but where are we going together as a society? So these are the questions that should interest us as content creators.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because nowadays there are people who call themselves journalists, and when you read their content, it's, totally marketing bullshit and everything. And then there are content marketers who, for example, who, who work at some, I don't know, tech startup, and they follow uh, much more closely the journalistic ethos and standards in uh, when they're writing their book articles. So yeah, I do see the two, the, you know uh, all of it converging, but if we can somehow, you know communicate and make this journalistic ethos uh, more popular for all content creators, I think this will, benefit society.
Mm,